So this is a quick demonstration of the CAFETORIUM dashboard generator for JupyterLab. This will be just a quick overview of the current capabilities. There's still more work that needs to be done to flesh it out and add some polish to the user interface. Also, the saving and loading functionality is working, but there's no UI for that yet. So that will be demonstrated separately. We will focus on showing how to import data, how to add widgets to the dashboard, and how to filter and how everything works together. Without further ado, I'm going to start going over the different elements. So here we're in Jupyter Lab. I've loaded the quick demo tutorial notebook, and all it has is these 5 lines of code where it's importing the dashboard generator. It's importing some widgets factories in these 2 lines, and then I'm just instantiating the dashboard and displaying it. So if I run this cell and I press Shift Control Enter, excuse me, we will see 2 buttons right now. In the future, this will have the loading button as well. But if we say show me the dashboard, it will pop it here to the right. Obviously, it's blank. And if you show me the configure dashboard, it's going to give me a new tab where I can start configuring my dashboard. We can drag these. It's important that we don't drag these inside of themselves. That could lead into issues. But if you drag it, for example, up to this level, now we can see the notebook here, or we can see the configurator. We can also start closing these. So let's say that we want to add a box plot. If we don't want to see the preview here because we already seen the dashboard, we can close that there. We can move these guys, make this a little skinnier, take less space. At the same time, if we don't want to add that box plot, we can remove it. So let's say that we're making a dashboard for, I don't know, some project. Now that will be displayed as the name of the dashboard. Then let's say that we want to import some criteria. So if we do that, we just added a factory widget for a criteria. And by default, the name is criteria. And right now, it doesn't see any files. So if we open this file here and we navigate to our, let's say, File Explorer, and we want to go and find some washboard compatible Excel workbook. Just go find one here. We could drag that. We'll select it and we drag it, and now we can see that DET Excel there. And when we update this, now we will see that option as data to load. When we select it, we can open it, and it's going to take a second. It's going to load it, and we get the green check mark. It means that it passed all the tests. And now we can see the criteria here. So by default, it's only going to open the first levels. So we have 2 main high-level criteria in this data set, and then their sub-criteria. If we click on these guys, we will see their weights for the sub-level attributes. So this one has 5 sub-level attributes. And we start changing these, we can see that the normalized weight for them has updated. So we make them all, you'll see that this is 100%, everything 0. If we make all of them 0, it's going to make everybody 20 equally weighted. So you can get an idea on the fly of what weights you're assigning by controlling these. This is not very exciting, so let's add some charts. So let's maybe start with a histogram. So we're going to add that. We are working to automatically do this step, but for now we have to do it manually. So we have to select these 2 cross filters, which is how the data between all these widgets is connected. And we have to link them. So here in the links button, I'm going to click link, and now they're connected. So now if I go to the histogram, I select the histogram, I can configure the histogram, and I will see all the variables. So if I do, let's pick technology, for example. Now we have technologies, and we can see here that they have the discrete values. Right now, to select these, we're not ready to allow the click on select on discrete variables on the histogram, but we hope to have that coming soon. We can also change the name on that. So if you want to call it, histogram. You can set that there's going to update the label up there. Okay, still not very exciting. Let's say we want to add a scatter plot. So we're gonna click on the plus button. Now we have the scatter plot. Again, we're gonna select the cross filters. We're gonna link those, and we're gonna select this guy, and we're gonna say, hey, let's plot, I don't know, viewpoint one and the viewpoint P and the viewpoint 1.2 viewpoint S. Now we can see the points. We added some padding also so that these points are not on the edge. And if you start selecting these guys, you can see that they're already filtering against each other. So that is done thanks to that cross filter linking. You can also color the variables. Right now, it does not allow you to select a different color map, but that's a feature that we may want to implement in the future. So let's just leave. So one thing to notice is that these selectors here, they're combo boxes. The benefit to them is when you have a lot of variables, you can start typing. So you can say 1.2, and it's going to filter out by all the things that have 1.2, 1. In this case 1.5 in the name. So it makes things easier to find. The only issue is that when you select something, and see here the colors updated. If you select something, you're going to see just that option. You have to delete it, and then you will see all the other options. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to call this scatter plot. So we have there a scatter plot, we have a histogram. Let's say we want to add a box plot. So once again, we're going to link those cross filters. It's also important right now in the manual step that we have to do that we link these. We click first on the criteria, on the one that has the cross filter, and on the blank one. And because if not, we can delete the cross filter reference. That's something that we hope to fix in the near future. So if we want to do this case, we're plotting two continuous variables against each other. So what the box plot will do is it will categorize, so it will bin the continuous variable on the x-axis and give you a histogram on the y-axis. If we had chosen for the x-axis something like technology, it would still work. The only issue is on this data set there's only 1 point, so the box plots become lines. But again, it's the same behavior as before. So things you can filter and things boxes will disappear. Or if you had selected something that maybe had some more data in it, like before, as you selected, the data that's used to plot that will disappear as well. So that's just how this is working for now. Let's add one more. Let's add the stacked bar. And once again, we're gonna link those guys. So create cross filter, stacked bar chart, cross filter. We're gonna link them. And now we're gonna configure the stack bar chart. I'm gonna start organizing these a little bit. So let's say that this box plot comes here with the scatter plot, and the stack bar chart goes here with the histogram. Here we can see that it's empty because we haven't selected anything yet. And when you select on the stack bar chart the variable to display, it's only going to allow you to do aggregated criteria. So these are all the criteria that have children that are also criteria. So for example, if you want to do a total value here, total value only has two children, viewpoint P and viewpoint S. And you can see the contribution from each one, which is the value that those sub-criteria have times the weighting that's assigned to them. So if we go back up here and we say, hey, I care more about this than that, we will see